Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the cEDH cast. My name is Ian, and with me, as always, is my co-host Braden.
Hi.
So here, we are here today to talk about a special rules change in the world of Commander. This rules change is not technically in effect now, but it's Commander, so people are just kind of doing it anyways. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
All right. So here's the announcement.
Yeah.
Breaking. This is some big news. Commanders will now trigger death and exile triggers when they die and go to the command zone.
hmm
So this was an announcement made during the Command Fest online panel that happened. If you want
Right.
to go watch that, it's pretty difficult to find, but you can find it on the VOD if you just spend
hmm
a ridiculous amount of time looking for it.
Yeah,
So
some people were retweeting it on Twitter too, so if you want to
yeah,
take there, you can find
yeah,
it.
they clipped it, so it's pretty easy to find the clip. Um,
Yeah.
But this is a pretty significant change for EDH and not really cEDH. I think if they print a commander that cares about when it exiles itself, there might be some like food chain ramifications.
Right, right.
But until we see something like that, I think this is like a purely casual EDH
hmm
change. So we thought we'd just
Yeah,
sit down for a bit, talk about some of the commanders that people see becoming more relevant, maybe in like at your casual tables. Um,
right.
Ian, do you have any initial thoughts on this change?
Yeah, no, so it was a clean sort of change, and it's been one that people have wanted for a long time because for those who don't know, before it was a replacement effect. You have basically a replacement effect anytime your commander dies that allows it to go to the command zone instead of any other place that it would go, i.e., your library, exile, your graveyard, etc. And because of that, there was, definitely a bit of some confusion when new people would be introduced to the format as to, well, it's dying. Why isn't it dying? Stuff like that.
Yeah, one of the biggest reactions I saw most people have was, "Wait, they don't trigger dice triggers."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So clearly, this is it.
Right.
The rules should. So you have to find a balance when you're making rules for a game between uh, having the rules be rules that make sense and having the rules be
Yeah.
rules that are the rules people are playing as. So
Right.
if
Or
everyone's
like
acting like
instinctively would think, right.
yeah, if everyone's acting like commander deaths cause death
Yeah.
triggers, then you should either work very hard to make sure people understand the rules work that way, or you should just change the
Right.
rules to work that way, especially if it like has no real downside from a
Yeah, I agree.
uh, power level perspective, which the commander
hmm
format really doesn't care about.
Right, right.
So
And it's definitely one of those things that like it actually does make the rules a little more complicated now, just because of like I had someone talk to me yesterday about Sir Conrad, right? And said, does it count because is it hitting the graveyard at all because it
yeah, it
triggers the
is.
die's ability, right? So is it
Yeah.
because it's hitting the graveyard and then going to the command zone? Is that two triggers on a Conrad? You know what I mean? Something like that.
So we actually brought out the Conrad card so you can see it right now. And at least from my understanding how the rules are going to work, Conrad will trigger twice because
hmm
the creature leaves the graveyard after it goes there. So that's like a very awkward uh, rules
Interaction. Yeah, yeah,
niche thing. I mean, it might
yeah.
they might change that. We don't know exactly how it works, but
Right,
it seems
right.
like that'll be the case. Yeah. So Conrad is obviously a very niche example, and
hmm
obviously Conrad's also a card that cares about the fact that commanders now have death triggers because now when
Yep.
you kill a commander, you're going to get that one damage to each opponent, which is pretty relevant.
Yeah.
So
One thing to note, because we do not, we've mentioned a couple times that we do not have the official ruling on some of this yet, and that is because as I mentioned earlier, with I sort of hinted to it, the rules change doesn't actually go in effect until the weekend after the release of M21, right?
Yeah,
Or is it
it'll be it's usually the week after pre-release.
the week after
Yeah,
pre-release? Okay,
because
yeah, yeah,
because pre-release is when cards become legal in Commander, unlike any other
right,
format.
right,
But on Monday, which is tomorrow,
yeah,
we are getting a full-scale explanation for how this works. So,
Right. We're
which
getting the
will
full explanation, and then
yeah
it won't come into effect until the week after pre-release.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting time.
Hmm.
I think this is mostly a casual change, so that's fine.
Right. Yeah.
All
People
right.
will just play with it now, basically.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a look at some popular commanders that we think are going to become, uh, more powerful, more relevant.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah.
so the first one we're going to look at is Child of Awara.
This one is always one that people used to bring up in this discussion, and they would always be like, "Well, at least the way the rules are, keep Child of Alara in check." And now it's
Yeah.
like,
Although, like
"Uh-oh."
Sheldon mentioned that he had a Child of Awara deck that just plays a whole bunch of exile graveyard effects. So like, uh,
I see.
so he just exiles his graveyard every turn, and then it's not like Rest in Peace for its replacement effect. Like he just actively is exiling it, so he gets to replay his Child of Awara. So
That's funny.
there's been workarounds. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I think we all see that this isn't like really a cEDH card, but I've
Yeah.
definitely lost to my fair share of Child of Alara ramp into obliteration decks.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you know who you are if you play that way.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next one we have is formerly banned
Yeah.
Kusho, the Evening Star. So, this commander's obviously a classic.
Yeah. Gotta love Coke Show.
Yeah, Gavin of the Rules Committee mentioned that this was the commander he was most excited to play around with,
Yeah.
which I can't
Yeah.
blame him. I mean, doming people for 5 is like pretty sick. Doing it out of the
Yeah.
command zone multiple times, equally
Yeah, I
sick.
mean, think about everything you do with the Gray Merchant, and then just what if it's in the command zone?
Yeah, and now there's actually like better. There's like 2 cards now that get cards out of your command zone. So you have a command beacon, and you also have that new
Yep.
artifact from the most recent commander precommons.
Yes, the altar. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now you have like multiple ways, and the altar costs you life, but like Kakusha just gains you life.
Yeah, you
So
gain like 15
who
life back
cares?
with Coca so
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that sounds like a good time. So
Yeah, sweet.
all right. So the next one is not one most people probably thought of,
Mm,
but I think it's a pretty good one. It is Massacre Girl. So the interesting thing here is that when you kill a commander now, you get an additional trigger. Where in the past, if
right.
you killed a commander with Massacre Girl ability, you wouldn't get another
Right.
another trigger.
Yeah.
So I think this boosts the power of Massacre Girl quite a
Hmm.
bit. I'd say.
Yeah,
Not necessarily broken, but just
sure. But
pretty good.
I mean, yeah, it does its effect. It definitely wipes the board. So this is just adding to that.
Yeah, it makes it like a bit more consistent.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and now like you might hit more commanders because you might see like a 5/5 commander or a 3/3
Right.
commander, and that helps you get up to like a 6/6 commander. So
Anything that helps you get up the chain definitely helps.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so our next one is Mathis Fiend Seeker, one of my favorite cards. Not gonna
I
lie,
used to have a Mathis deck way back in the
I
day.
used
It
to
was a
play
good one.
Marchesa, and when I was playing Marchesa, I was kind of like, maybe this would be better. Of course, Timna Bruce was better, but I really wanted to try out Mathis. I never got the
Yeah.
opportunity to. The fact that you would put a counter on a commander and then the commander would die and nothing would happen was very disappointing. So
Right.
I'm very happy now to see this update. Makes me want to build a
Mhm.
Mathis deck if I wasn't busy building like the absurdity that is Paco. So
Yeah.
I got my Paco mention in the episode.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, there's also the new green black commander that cares about bounties.
Yep.
But
Shovel. Yep.
this is like way better than that, so that's why we're mentioning it.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one up, Elenda.
Big one.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
one that
A real big
everyone
one.
everyone was like, every time you played
Wow.
against an Elenda deck and someone's pulled out their X11 white creature tokens, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how the rules work. It felt good, but also it felt bad. So I'm happy that.
Did not feel good. Oh no, Braden.
So, so I'm happy to see this change. I'm disappointed because I don't get to dunk on people with my rules knowledge, but that's not with great power comes great responsibility. So So yeah, Alenda's obviously like super powerful. There's like tons of like token synergies in
Yeah.
black white now. There's tons of counter synergies in black white.
Yeah, it's a great
Um,
aristocrats color too.
yeah, like if you want to play an aristocrats deck, this is probably the way to do it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean you can now you can be like well, I mean you could always do this, but you can like sack 10 things to your creature with a blood artist out and then sack a Linda and you have 10 more and it
yeah,
goes wild.
yeah. And the cool thing now, I think, is that you get to like the when you played Alenda, like the first 5 cards that you added to the deck were like Necromancy, Animate Dead, Dance the Dead,
Yeah,
Reanimate,
yeah.
all those cards, like Karmic Guide, and like sure those
Hmm.
are kind of good into your tokens aristocrat strategy, but they're not like
Right.
great. And now like
Right.
the deck is like way wider open. There's like more different cards you get to play. So
Hmm.
I think this is like
Hmm.
a pretty strict upgrade.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right. Well, that's the end of our list of top some number of what is that? You stop
I was
that.
doing
That's the end of our top however many we listed off
yeah.
commanders for the new rule. We didn't structure this anywhere near enough, obviously. So I hope you all enjoyed our little perusing of our new options for Casual Commander. This isn't the type of content we usually do, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm currently
Yeah.
killing Ian right now, so I should probably stop and we should probably end the video. Thanks for watching. Please hit that little subscribe button. It helps a lot. We're getting towards 1,000, and we're starting to plan our little thing. Maybe some gameplay. Maybe,
Ooh,
maybe
maybe we'll see.
edited gameplay. Maybe. So, uh, we'll see. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day.